right, everybody, welcome to One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you guys for joining me tonight. Today is Monday, June 9th, and it got a little warmer outside today, but I was excited to have the sun out. You know what's happening is we've had all that rain, and the grass keeps growing, so I'm glad we finally got a little bit of sunshine out. It means I won't have to mow, and I'm sure you are too, so you don't feel sorry for me, but anyway, I just had to throw it out there. All right, tonight we've got a great program for you. We have Caydence Hall from the Helias Catholic Crusader Archery Team. And you're going to enjoy getting to know a little bit more about Caydence and also hear about her accomplishments and just, how she got started with everything and what lies ahead for her. I'm encouraging you to make sure that you make any comments, or if you have questions, feel free to ask those in the comment section, and we'd love to hear from you and have you be a part of the program. I think we're going to have fun with this interview, and you're going to enjoy hearing from Caydence. So with that, let's go ahead and bring her on in here. All right, Caydence, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I am doing good. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been a busy young lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're excited that school's out and you're just getting a little bit of a break?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm
All
so excited.
right. All right. Why don't you go ahead and just start talking a little bit about how you got started with archery? What was that process like?
Well, I started in 4th grade. I went to River Oak Christian Academy, and it was a very, very small school, like 100 kids, preschool through 5th grade, and we only had a choice between cross country and archery for sports. And I tried both. But I soon realized that I am not a runner, and I picked up archery very fast, and I just felt really comfortable with it.
Well, they do have certain sports. Maybe someday they'll do this. They'll combine cross country and archery, and you could try both. In skiing they have shooting and skiing. So I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
It would probably be pretty difficult to, after you're done running, breathing hard, and then try to shoot,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
you're trying to remain as still as possible, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the different types of archery that you have participated in, and what's the differences between those different styles?
Well, there's 3D and then there's bullseye. And I personally like the bullseye target. It's just like the typical 10 ring, 9 ring, 8 ring, 7 ring. And then at 3D, you shoot 6 different animals ranging from 10 to 15 meters. And the animals are like the turkey, coyote, deer, bear, antelope, and ram, I think. But yeah, those are the main two types.
Okay. Some of those definitely would have an easier job as far as not having any problems shooting at a bear if it was coming at you. I mean, that's what you would want to do, right? Uh, so, you know, this year, we'll get to talking about what took place this year, but why don't you talk about kind of your career and your development up until this year? What were some of your accomplishments? What were some of the things that you really tried to improve on?
Mhm. Yeah, throughout elementary school, I kind of just like considered it like an after school fun activity. And in 5th grade is when I like started like getting good, and I qualified for the state tournament, but it got canceled due to COVID, and that really like made me upset. And then middle school rolls around, and I really like start putting up higher scores, and I every tournament I competed in probably placed in the top 3. And I think once I started at Helias, I really began to like lock in on my technique because I saw like high schoolers like shooting these amazing scores, getting scholarships for colleges, and I'm like, I want to be like that. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, that's so. Were there different people that you looked up to, what you would say as kind of role models, people that you
Yeah.
tried to emulate?
Yeah, there's definitely one. His name's JJ Quill.
Hmm.
He I mean, he's amazing. Like it was crazy. He graduated a few years ago, but
Hmm.
he shot 300s like left and right. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be like him. Like, I want to be able to do that. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So with that, have you been able to do that in a competition or practice or?
I have not shot a 300 yet. That is definitely my goal for before I graduate.
Hmm.
But the closest I've shot is 297. So I'm
Hmm.
like right there.
Yeah, yeah, and we will get into how you did at state here in a little bit. But um, what are some of the awards that you've received? And again, before this year, well, just up until this time.
There's so many. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like at normal like tournaments, like just throughout the season, like leading up to state. I think I placed at every single one. I think I have my trophies behind me. I
Yeah, I
think
see
the
those.
most, I think the best one that I placed at, like obviously that wasn't state, was this one. It was Border Wars,
Hmm.
and it's like the states that surround Missouri all
Hmm.
come and compete against each other. I got first in that one, and I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Very good. Um, so, do you compete year round? And if so, what kind of training do you do?
Archery season usually starts in January and it's through May if you go to nationals. If you don't go to nationals, it's just January through March. And I do training with my private coach who is a USA like Olympic gold medalist. Like she's amazing. And I also have an archery range set up in my basement that I practice year round or try to practice year round. Sometimes I don't, especially in like winter when sometimes we can't get out and go to practices because of snow, stuff like that.
Hmm. Well, that's do you find that there's certain things physically that help you to be a better archer?
Um, I don't know. I think it's like I don't do this and I probably should, but a lot of archers lift weights because it's
Hmm.
so arm heavy
Yeah,
because you're pulling back a 20-pound bow and some people think that that's 20 pounds, it's not that hard. It's really hard.
yeah.
Like it's hard because you're pulling it back with three fingers.
Hmm.
So I'm like, this is hard. And I've had a lot of problems for the past few years with my shoulder.
Hmm.
And I think it's just like the rigorous training and practicing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and when you're doing repetitive motion, a lot of times that's where you can
Mhm.
have some injuries if that's not. But we're just going to believe that you're not going to have injuries and you're going to keep going well.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Um, Talk about this year and as you competed, what were some of the goals that you set for yourself? Now, I know the prior year you finished second at state. Is that correct? Okay. So, what were your
By
goals
one point,
doing? Yeah.
I my goal has always to win state. And I was like, well, if I can do that my sophomore year, I just like feel like I'm gonna level or like plateau, I guess. But I had a really good start to the season. The first few tournaments, I shot my highest scores. I even shot better than I shot at state. And then I had a slump for like middle of the season, and I think I really got in my mind that like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this isn't going to be my year. Like I'm doing horrible. And then I set a goal for 295 at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the season. I was able to beat that. So I set my goal to 300. Still haven't gotten there, but hoping I can
Yeah.
soon.
You'll get there. You will get
Yeah,
there. So, when does you know, school? I mean, when does it start the season? When does that start, and when does it end?
like the archery season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we start practicing maybe November.
Mm-hmm.
I think November and then March 20th and through 23rd, 22nd, which is actually
Mm-hmm.
my birthday,
Okay.
which I love that, is
Happy late birthday.
thank you, which is state.
Uh-huh.
That's normally just the archery season or what people consider archery season. And
Mm-hmm.
then April nothing until nationals in May.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Very good. So leading up to the state competition with the goals that you had set in mind, how were you mentally preparing for all of that?
I wasn't. I was really just hoping for the best. But when I get like self-conscious about my technique, I just tend to over practice.
Mhm.
And I think that's a problem because I think everyone needs like a break every so often. But my coach, Janice, and of course my school coaches, like they just help so much. And really, it's just practice, practice, practice.
Well, I'm sure that somebody along the line somewhere said practice makes perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, we'll we'll get into your parents here in a little bit as far as how they are helping you with motivating you and all that. But I do want to ask you, when you were at competing at state, what's that environment like? And isn't there like 4,000 competitors that were there all together? Some for
Oh, yeah.
3D, some for the bullseye, some for both.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah,
that? What's that atmosphere like?
it's huge. Like it's crazy. Like state is huge, but nationals, I mean, I don't think I've ever been in a room with that many people. But state it's just it's at the convention center, the Branson Convention Center, and that place is huge.
Hmm.
And there's like a setup of maybe like 80 to 100 targets and there's two at each target. And then you have parents watching and then you have people just walking through like all the vendors and stuff like that because they have bunch and bunches of vendors and businesses, colleges too, like set up there, and it's crazy. Like you could spend a whole day there.
Uh-huh. Well, from beginning to finish, during your competition, how long was that? And I mean, how many different rounds did you have to do?
Normally, a tournament lasts an hour, and of course, like state usually lasts a little longer because of how many people there are. There's 6 rounds, 6 scoring rounds,
Hmm.
and then you have a practice round before each of the three bunched
Hmm.
together. So there's practice round at 10, you shoot 3 rounds at 10.
Hmm.
Practice round at 15 meters, you shoot 3 rounds at 15 meters, and then that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now we will get into your scoring that you did at state. On how special was that, scoring 294 out of 300?
Yeah, I think it was special, especially because, like, I just, I'm so competitive. I wanted to win so bad. And I was just like, I'm the person to look at scores before I shoot. A
Hmm.
lot of people don't because they're like, it'll get in my head, like I'll mess
Hmm.
up. But I think that that's what makes me do better because I have to
Hmm.
like know what I need to aim for
Yeah.
and what I need to beat. Because if I shoot like a 294 and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so good, but someone shoots a 295 before me, I think that would just make me feel worse.
Yeah. So you're very, very competitive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you are not competitive at all with family board games and stuff like that.
Oh,
No, no.
not at all.
Okay. All right. So you talked about the importance of earning scholarships. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? That you were able to earn some scholarship.
Yeah, last year I received $2,000 for getting second place. It kind of just like goes up the higher you place. And then this year I got 2,500 and those can be used at any college of any choice. I'm not sure with like trade schools or anything like that, but I know that most colleges should accept them. Not sure.
Okay. Yeah, you're not ready for that yet. I mean, you're just getting ready to go into your junior year, so
Yeah.
you've got a little bit of time. Uh, we talked a little bit about, you thrive on competition, you check other people's scores, but with the level of competition that you were going up against, did you feel any pressure? And if so, how were you able to overcome that?
I mean, competition in mid Missouri is beyond real. Like some of the top teams like in the nation are located in mid-Missouri, and I did feel pressure since I placed second last year. I was like, okay, I have to beat that. Like this is my year. Like I'm going to do it. Like I got this. But I think I was just able to overcome like all the pressure and like the competitors just by practicing. Like it really is a practice sport. Like it's, it's partly God-given talent, which I think that I have some, but I've practiced like there's no tomorrow.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh, when you were at state, and you said, is it Branson at the convention center? We talked a
Mhm.
little bit about the atmosphere. Was there any opportunity for you to do anything else besides just be at the competition?
Oh yeah, like the competition's huge, but like there's tons of, like I said, booths set up, like scavenger hunts for little kids, because it really is. It's a family trip that a lot of families bring their
Mm-hmm.
kids down, and I think it's a lot of fun for
Mm-hmm.
everyone, because it's not just focused on archery. Like that's what I think NASP does a good job about making it like fun
Mm-hmm.
for all the kids, all ages, especially.
Yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about this? This wasn't on your questions that I gave you, but why don't you talk a little bit about NASP and that organization, and how special that is for you?
Yeah, I like NASP, and IBO is connected to NASP, and IBO does the 3D, but I just heard that IBO is ending their partnership with NASP, and I don't know if I should say the reasons why because I'm not 100% sure, but that is just the rumor that's going around, which
Mm-hmm.
sucks. So
Yeah.
we don't really know if there's going to be a future in 3D or not.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure somebody will pick it up if
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. So, all right. Well, you're doing outstanding. You've done a great job, and
Thank you.
we'll give you just a quick little break. We'll hear from our sponsors, and I do want to encourage those of you that are watching. Feel free to make any comments, nice things that you want to say about Caydence, or if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and do that. She's doing an outstanding job, and we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, they do a fantastic job right here in mid-Missouri as far as people that need jobs. They connect them with the employers that are trying to fill positions, and then, of course, employers that are looking for people to fill those positions. CNS does a great job with getting people into those jobs and keeping people working right here in mid-Missouri. They also do a fantastic job working in the community, and not long ago they were the lead sponsor for Redemption, and it's called Redemption Junior, and they brought in Slugs and Bugs, the guy that was the writer for a lot of the VeggieTales music. He's the creator of Slugs and Bugs, so they brought him to Jefferson City to just have a great time with kids. Coming up on September the 27th will be the 7th year of Redemption, and it's called A New Beginning this year. We changed the name from Redemption Inside the Walls, and it is a Christian concert, as well as presenting awards to a lot of Good Samaritans in mid-Missouri. So you don't want to miss that. And this year's act is Big Daddy Weave. We're excited to have him coming, but again, want to thank CNS Employment Solutions for just being the major sponsor for that. And then there's one more that they've got, and it's called Redemption Rocks for you metalheads, you guys that like to hear heavy metal music. It's this year they're going to. This is the first year, and it will be in October, and they will have Disciple and Seventh Day Slumber. So those are some things coming up, and I just wanted to give a shout out to CNS for bringing those here. Also, we have our Coach of the Issue sponsor, and that is Big Whiskeys, and we really appreciate their sponsorship of Coach of the Issue, because like Alex Kendall from Helias, she coaches the dance team, and she is an outstanding woman. And our coaches take a lot of time to pour into our student athletes, and just being great role models, spending time away from their family, putting in all the long hours. And so we just want to say thank you to Big Whiskies for giving a shout out to those. All right, we have been talking tonight with Caydence Hall, and she is doing an outstanding job. And what I like to see is from Mom. Great job, Caydence. There you go. We've got to put that on there so that Caydence will be able to pull that up anytime, and she'll be able to say, Mom, remember when you said those nice things about me. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, hey, you've been doing a great job. I'm looking forward to this next part too, because we just mentioned about the importance of coaches, and you kind of mentioned a little bit about your coach, but why don't you talk about how they help make you better?
Oh yeah, the coaches really are amazing. Like I don't think they would be doing what they were doing unless they wanted to be with kids. And when I'm having a bad shoot, they just encourage me and they push me to stay focused and don't give up. And my school coach, Ken Ferris, he's just like, he's been a big supporter of mine. He's always pushing me to do my best. He comes to graduations for kids, like musicals that I'm in, literally anything. He'll come. And he recently was at the city hall meeting where I was honored by the mayor, and it's just nice knowing that like all my coaches have my back.
Yeah, that's important, because you want, when you're saying having your back, it's just kind of giving you an extra boost of confidence as well,
Hmm.
knowing that they are in full support of you, and trying to give you their best to help you be your best.
Yeah.
So speaking about that, how do they challenge you to give your best?
Yeah, they push us. Like they want us all the kids. They want us all to do so good. And I think that with just like encouragement, they tell us like you like I think being told that you're good, like you're good enough, like
Hmm.
even though you're not the best archer in the world, you're still really good. And I think that like encouragement really helps like all the kids.
Yeah. Well, not the best archer in the world yet. We're
Yeah,
working on
yeah,
it. We're working on
yeah.
that. So what are you going to be doing this summer?
Well, I right now I'm in High School Musical. Like that's the name of the play if you've heard of it. And I'm also
Yes,
working.
I have.
Yeah, I'm working, but I have just recently started practicing with
Hmm.
my bow that I won from state. So that's definitely a process. I'm really hoping I can shoot with it, and I'm hoping it shoots really good, but
Hmm.
who knows?
Yeah. So talk a little bit about that. What kind of bow do you have, and tell people about the difference in a bow.
Yeah, it's a Genesis bow, and I guess it's considered a compound bow. I don't know. I don't really study bows. Some
Hmm.
people do, but
Hmm.
there's so many different types. Like there's
Yeah.
recurve, compound, crossbow, and it's crazy. But in NASP, everyone has to have the same like type
Hmm.
of bow. So yeah, pretty basic.
And so, what is the one that you use for NASP? What kind of bow?
I think it's a compound bow.
Compound. Okay. Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I think you're right, because from your picture it looked like that's what it was. So,
Yeah.
um, so what were some of the? Well, let's go to this. What has been your favorite place to travel to in a competition?
Oh, Louisville, Kentucky,
Okay.
for sure. That place, it's so fun. I love it. Because
And
there's
that
so
was for
much,
nationals.
that's
Yeah.
always for nationals. There's
Yeah.
so much to do. Like, we didn't get to do like everything we wanted to do. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is so fun. We were planning on going to Worlds if
Hmm.
nationals went well, but that did not. So We didn't go to Worlds. I could have still gone to Worlds no matter what, because
Hmm.
it adds up your national score and your state
Hmm.
score, like to qualify, and you have to get a certain score. But I qualified anyways. But we just didn't want to have to do another travel, and it
Yeah.
was in South Carolina, I believe, this year.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's pretty cool that you were in your sophomore year. You were able to go and compete at nationals. So
Mhm.
that's great. Did you go last year in your freshman year?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
gone mostly every year,
Hmm.
but Worlds, like, it's so small. Like, the competition, like, that's one reason I wanted to go. The competition at Worlds
Hmm.
is, like, easier than state. Like, it's crazy.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay.
I'm just, not many people go now.
Right. But probably
Yeah.
still the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, what were some of the challenges this year, and how were you able to overcome those?
I think my mental mindset was my biggest challenge, and for me and many other archers. And I think I just try to take deep breaths as I go, just relax and know if I shoot a bad score, it's not the end of the world. But yeah.
Well, again, with your competitive nature, I don't know if you would think that it's not the end of the world,
Yeah.
right? Talk about that competitive drive, and how do you push yourself individually to keep striving to be better?
Yeah, I am probably gonna be the most competitive person you meet, and I can't stand seeing other people beat me. And I know that sounds so bad, but
No.
I just, I really want the best, like, for my future, I guess. And like, if I try really hard now and get to where I want to be, then like it'll just be so easy to get there, you
Yeah,
know?
right.
Yeah.
Well, I understand completely what you're talking about is that competitive nature, and you don't want anybody else to beat you. That's what I
Yeah.
used to be like, and my daughter can even tell you that I would not let her win in board games or anything along that line. And she'd
Yeah.
get upset, and my wife would be like, "Why didn't you let her win?" I said, "She's got to learn how to lose in order to be a good
Yeah.
winner." And on top of that, I wanted to win.
Mm.
You just do that. And then so now that she has children of her own, she says, I understand completely why you did that because my granddaughter, she's very competitive. So she uh, she wants to make sure that she doesn't get too
Oh yeah.
above her place.
Yeah.
Uh, why don't you talk a little bit about what you've enjoyed most about your time at Helias High School so far?
I think since coming from such small schools, I went to River Oak, which had like 100 kids, kindergarten or pre-K through fifth grade, and then Trinity Lutheran, which had like 300 pre-K through eighth grade. I think just going to a bigger school and I think meeting new people was is probably the best part, and I love it. I think it's
Mhm.
so fun.
Yeah, I interact with a couple of people there. I interact with Susie Rockers a lot, and through
Mhm.
the magazine, and she's awesome. I
Yeah.
appreciate all that she does. So she was actually the one that helped me get connected with you guys. So she's awesome. What's been your favorite memories so far as a student athlete representing the Crusaders?
I think football games when I cheered. Those were so fun. And then for archery, I love hosting tournaments on ours. I love working the tournaments. I think it's just so fun. And the summer camps that Helias does, they do like summer camps for like younger kids interested in joining those activities when they reach high school. And
Hmm.
like counseling, I guess, at those. I love those. Those are so
Yeah.
fun.
Do you find a lot of the younger competitors? Do you find them coming up and talking to you, trying to get pointers from you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, especially now. That's what I think is gonna be a lot next season, especially because no one's really seen me since
Mhm.
state. Like none of the local schools have seen me since state.
Mhm.
Next year, a lot of people have actually reached out to me, are like, "Hey, like, are you like doing like lessons? Like, some teenage archers do lessons now."
Mhm.
I'm like, I can't until I'm 18,
Mhm.
but like legally, I can't until I'm 18.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely would want to help
Mhm.
younger kids. Like, I think being a coach when I'm older, I think that would be so fun. That would be
Yeah.
so fun.
Awesome. Let's see. Who else inspires you to be the best version of yourself?
Probably my mom, because she's a stroke survivor, and she's just like so strong, and like everything that she goes through, like it just shows me like how to be like a better person and like how to be strong myself.
That's good. Why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit more about your family and what do they mean to you?
Oh yeah, they mean a lot to me because they're always taking me to tournaments. They're always paying for tournaments. They're always paying for the trips, like to Branson and Louisville, because traveling's expensive now, which is crazy. But I think me and my family are really close with each other because of that.
Hmm. Uh, so I thought I saw one, but do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have one little baby brother. He's
Uh
nine
huh.
months old, or about to
Hmm.
be 9 months old.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What does he mean to you?
Oh my goodness, he is like my whole world. I have always wanted a sibling because it's always just been me and my mom. So I was like, I need someone else. Like, come on. I need someone else. It's so boring with you. Like, I wanted a sibling forever. And my mom was like, no, never happening. Absolutely never. So his name's Jet. Jet was just kind of like a miracle baby. Like,
Oh,
out of nowhere, so random. Like, I love him. Like, I think like he came here for a reason for sure.
yeah. Um, so does is he like the? I'm just gonna say it this way. Is he like the ruler of the house? Yeah.
Everything now revolves around him.
Uh
And
huh.
I'm like, that's the one thing I don't like. Like, I used to have all the attention as an only
Yeah.
child, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah. So my daughter, we have one daughter, and then
Mhm.
her and my son-in-law have had 5 kids, and so she must not have really appreciated being alone like you.
Yeah,
But five, I mean, that's and
that's a lot.
yeah, and they went with alphabet names, so it's Audrey, she's 15, Bowman, he's 14, Channing, he's 12, Deacon is 10, about to turn 10, and then Ezra, he's almost 4. And
Wow.
so, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, but
Are they
they're
gonna
done.
make it that far?
No, no, they're done. They stopped. They're good.
That's fun.
Yeah, but it's yeah, the youngest one, Ezra. He demands all the attention in the house, and the two boys that were before him, each of those at one time were the baby, but nah,
Yeah.
he's got it all. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun to have siblings, though. For me growing up, it didn't seem so fun then, so much fun then, but um, I, I love my sisters. My brother passed away in
Yeah.
2012, but
Oh.
they're they mean a lot, and you appreciate every moment you get with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so, what are some of the other things that you do? You said you work, but what are some other
Mhm.
things that you like to do in your spare time?
I love like singing and acting and performing in musicals. I also compete in speech and debate, and I was a football cheerleader. I'm not doing it this year. I decided I'm really gonna focus in on archery this year. Like that, like these like upperclassmen years, like I
Mm-hmm.
have to lock in. Like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get it down. But I consider myself very busy
Mm-hmm.
all the time. I don't think I ever have a free day, and I do pageants too.
Mm-hmm.
I actually
Okay.
have a pageant on the 15th,
All right.
so that's been crazy too.
Yeah. Yeah, so talk a little bit about some of those things. Talk about uh, the pageant. Start with that, and what kind of competitions do you go in, and what are the categories that you have to compete
Mhm.
in?
Yeah, usually there's like beauty, which is like formal wear, like something that you would see someone wear to prom. There's sometimes talent, and I would sing, obviously. And then theme wear, which is like the theme of the pageant. There's so many different categories you could think of. Like, it's crazy. But I just recently started doing one. I did a lot when I was younger. I was actually Little Miss Cole County. That was my very first pageant.
Okay,
Yep. Haven't done one since.
all
So this
right,
is my up and coming one.
yeah. So my wife was the 1984 Kansas Junior Miss, and so she traveled to Mobile, Alabama for the national competition.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, she sounds a lot like you as far as things. She was in musical. She did, had the lead in West Side Story as Maria, and
I love
um,
that.
yeah. So you are in High School Musical, right? So talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I'm playing Sharpay Evans, the blonde, stereotypical mean girl theater kid,
Okay.
which my mom says I don't really have to act for that part.
Oh.
And I find that very offensive. So,
But
yeah.
remember, you can always go back where it says "Great job, Cadence
Yeah.
Hall."
Yeah.
You can go back to that. All right. Um, so singing, you enjoy singing. How did you know that you really enjoyed that, and how do you get the confidence to get up there and sing in front of other people?
My family, like, I grew up around music. Like, we're all singers,
Hmm.
musicians. So, like, from when I was born, my mom was playing music while I was in her stomach,
Mm.
and I would kick to the beat of the music. So she knew, like, she's gonna be a singer. She's
Uh-huh.
gonna be she's gonna be a singer. So that's why I got my name, because cadence means like rhythmic and
Hmm.
melodious. And so that's why she named me that. But my whole family is very musically inclined, I tend to say. And just like growing up around it, I think really got me the confidence to sing. And
Hmm.
I have no stage fright ever.
That's good. That
Yeah.
is good. Um, So, what are some of the future goals? I mean, things that you think that I might want to do this for a period of time in my life. What are some of those things?
I think when I'm older and like having a job, like 40s, maybe 30s, 40s, I definitely want to do like private lessons for
Hmm.
archery. Like, I definitely want to keep archery in my life when I'm older, because it's been such a big part of my life since fourth grade. So
Hmm.
it'll be kind of hard to just like let it go completely.
Hmm.
And I don't know about archery in college yet, because it's not NAS bows.
Hmm.
So I'd have to learn a completely different bow. And I
Hmm.
think that would just be hard, but I think my mom thinks I should
Hmm.
definitely continue, because I mean, I have a God-given talent for it,
Sure.
obviously. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's
So,
like my main goal.
so that's something that would you aspire? I mean, if you're able to get in and learn that, would that be something that you would aspire to compete in professionally, or if you could?
Yeah, I think like main goal, top of the totem pole, is to go to the Olympics.
Hmm.
Like, that would just be the icing on the cake.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you can get there. You're
Yeah.
gonna you're gonna get those 300s, and they're just gonna be rolling off one after another, and you're
Thank
you're gonna get
you.
there. Yeah. Uh, so you've done outstanding. We've finished with all of our regular questions, and now we get to have a little bit more fun. We call this the speed round, and I get to ask you some fun off the cuff questions, and we'll start with this one. What is your favorite go-to snack or meal after a competition?
Spaghetti. That is my
Spaghetti.
all-time favorite food. I probably have spaghetti 5 times a week.
Okay.
Like I've once had it 2 days in a row for lunch and dinner,
Okay.
and I that's all I want after a competition is just spaghetti.
Yeah. So with or without meatballs?
Without. But
Okay.
I also my problem, I have an obsession. I had to have like a whole bowl of Parmesan with my
Okay.
spaghetti. Like my mom says it's so unhealthy, but it's so good. She can't be
Yeah.
hating until she tries it.
Yeah. So you got to add spaghetti to your Parmesan, right?
Yeah, that's what she says.
That's good. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? And if you like ice cream, what's your
Mhm.
favorite one?
I A lot of people think that it's the same, but I like sherbet more than ice cream.
Hmm.
And before I got on the call, I was eating ice cream actually.
Okay.
I was eating orange sherbet and oh, it's
Yeah.
so
So
good.
I did like sherbet when I was growing up, and orange sherbet was one of my favorite ones. But
Oh my
um,
goodness, my
yeah,
mom commented.
yeah, she did. Do you see that spaghetti queen? That's great. Thank you, Courtney. Courtney, you're gonna have to jump in on this one coming up here in a little bit because we need to make sure that that's the real answer, and you can tell us on that. But if there's any place in the world you could go, where would that be and why?
I want to go to Paris. I've always wanted to go to Paris, like since like I was probably 8.
Mm-hmm.
I always had like fashion designing things in my room. My whole room had like I think I counted once like 40 something Eiffel Towers in there. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is my dream place to go. Like I think it's so beautiful. Like I just love it.
Yeah. So my wife and I were able to go in 2014 or 15, I think. Um,
Mhm.
a, a couple or a family that was going to be missionaries to the Congo.
Oh, wow.
They had to go to France to learn to speak the language, and so they were there. And before they were going to the Congo, they asked if we would come. So they paid for our flight to go out there
Oh,
and
wow.
just basically minister to them for a little bit. And because that's what else I do. I'm a pastor,
Mhm.
but before that,
Oh, that's fun.
I was the youth leader for their kids, so they asked us to come. But it is beautiful. There was a hunting lodge for a king that we went to, and that was crazy big. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
that was beautiful. The only thing I didn't like was like at the Eiffel Tower and at Notre Dame. They had a lot of military police that were going around with their, machine guns, and they had, back to back, and I was like, "Are we in danger here?" you know.
Yeah. Like
But
what is this?
yeah, it's just it's just on high alert. At least it was during that time. But
Mhm.
we were there before Notre Dame burned, caught on fire. So we were able to go
Oh,
inside and see that before that
yeah.
had happened. So yeah, I think you'd enjoy going there.
Yeah.
You know the kind of roundabouts we have here.
Yeah, they're just
The ones that we have here
nothing.
are mild compared to in France,
Yeah. I've seen those.
down by the Louvre.
I've seen like those are crazy.
Yeah. It's not even a roundabout. It's just a big open space, and people are
Circle,
going all.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just all going different directions. Motorcycles are weaving in and out, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm glad I'm not driving. Yeah. So okay, I hope you get to go there. Maybe you even get to go there for an international Olympic competition.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Okay, so if you would call, so we know you're spaghetti queen, but if you were to say that you were compared to what Disney princess would you say you're most comparable to?
Um like activity wise, probably Merida from Brave because she's
Okay.
an archer.
Mm-hmm.
Personality wise, Mama, what would you say?
Disney princess?
Personality wise,
Rapunzel.
probably Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Okay.
Hmm.
There you go. Very good. Now let's get a little bit more competitive and strength wise. What superhero would you best compare yourself to?
I don't know any superhero.
Like Wonder Woman?
I don't really watch superhero
Yeah,
movies.
that's all right. That's good. But your mom's right. Wonder Woman would be good. Just from what I know of you so far. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so now here's the big question. What is your least favorite chore to do around the house and why?
Everything.
Everything, yeah.
Probably cleaning my room.
Okay,
Like, after I hop off this call, she's gonna go make me clean my room. It's
okay.
always messy. It's
Uh,
just, it's so hard to maintain. But I hate chores.
yeah,
She can testify.
okay. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing: as I interviewed somebody not long ago, they hated doing any kind of chores around the house, and then they went to college, and they happened to have a roommate that was very. They loved cleaning, and so now that person loves cleaning, and her mom doesn't even recognize her anymore. It's like so. There's
That's
hope,
funny.
Courtney. There is hope.
Yeah, there's hope, Mama.
Lord
All
Jesus.
right. Well, Cadence, you've done a great job. I want to give you an opportunity if you want to do any additional shout out or thank yous to anybody. I want to give you the opportunity to do that now, and then we can close out.
My mom wants me to thank her. Very selfish of her. Um, but yeah, I just want to thank all my coaches and you
Oh,
for
well,
letting me come on here and
no,
let people hear me.
it was fun.
And of course, my little brother.
Yeah. Is he close? There he is. Hi.
Oh.
Now he's pulling the hair. Yeah. Look, he said, "This is
Typical
about
dad.
me. You get out of here."
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to have you hold on until after the program here. I'm going to quickly close out and I'll quickly visit with you afterwards. But you've done an outstanding job and this has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
absolutely. I'll see you in just a moment.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun visiting with Cadence. And if you didn't get to see the whole interview, go back and check it out. Make sure you share it with your friends, as well as you can find it on our YouTube channel, Sports Locker Magazine. And that's well, it's One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. You can go to that. Um, you'll be able to share that with friends as well from there. I appreciate you all joining us on a Monday night, and I hope you have a great week. And I'm your host, Kirk DeMars. God bless you, and I will see you next week.